the weirdest kingdom on YouTube. I'm Princess Adia, aka Adia, and today, as you can see, I'm a little bit dressed up. I've dressed up for the part. That is what I've done. I'm gonna be talking about something related to Harry Potter. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, Fantastic Beasts 2. Yes, if you can't tell, I'm quite a big Harry Potter fan, seeing as I have a robe. I've never been to Harry Potter Land, but I was a student for Halloween. I wrote an essay in my English class on Harry Potter. So I guess you could say I'm quite a big fan of Harry Potter. I'm a Hufflepuff. This tie here took me at least, I would say, 15 minutes to tie this, seeing as I've not been a person who's been taught how to tie a tie. Yes. So, let's get on to the topic of this video. Fantastic Beasts 2. Fantastic Beasts, I actually was quite interested because I really wanted to see it. I just never got the chance to, like, money-wise, we didn't have the money-wise to go to see the movies, and then, like, time wasn't matching up. I was quite busy during that time. And so, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get the movie, the DVD, I'm gonna watch it. Oh my god. I'm gonna watch it, and I watched Fantastic Beasts. I thoroughly enjoyed Fantastic Beasts, the first one. Like, I understood what was going on. I kind of felt like at first, I'm like, oh, this is great. So, I saw the first one, I thought it was great. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad I didn't get to see the movie theater so I could even have the hype with everybody else and everything like that. But I understood it. It was good. I loved how they incorporated the beast, stuff like that, because it made sense. The beast made sense in the movie. In the first movie, I didn't understand. I understood the movie to a point, and like what everything played its part. I like seeing the Wizarding World in a different setting, in a whole different country, especially because it's in New York, my hometown. So New York City, I was like, oh, this is great, let's see it. But then they have a main character who's British, which I'm like, okay, I guess J.K. Rowling, she likes British people. She's British herself, I think. So, if I'm correct, yeah, because I was like, I don't know. Then came time to see Fantastic Beasts. If you saw on Vlogmas Day 1, which is my friend Kira's birthday, I went and planned her whole birthday for her, and I planned for us to go see Fantastic Beasts on December 1st, and we went and saw it, and it was, let's get into it. So, we come in, I don't even know, like, the time period, I think it's like a few months after the last movie. Newt's in England trying to get back into New York, but he is not allowed to get back into New York because of the ruckus he caused in New York. Problem 1, the only time we see the Beast is like within the first like 15-20 minutes of the movie, and then we see them like once or twice again after that. I don't get it. Like, okay, because it's literally called Fantastic Beasts. My number one problem with The Cursed Child, I haven't actually read it, but I've watched reviews, stuff like that. I'm kind of like hesitant to really read it, even though it's like been like a few years, like maybe 1 or 2 years since this came out, is that it's called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, but it's not about Harry Potter. Just like this movie is called Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, but it's not about any of the Fantastic Beasts, it's about Grindelwald. It's like, why have the first part if you're just gonna have the Crimes of Grindelwald? It's like movies about the Crimes of Grindelwald. So, oh yeah, Grindelwald. This man, I mean, the 1920s, people were getting smarter and smarter as time came, but he just outsmarted everyone when it came to escaping, honestly. You're supposed to be the Minister of Magic or whatever, and you can't even defeat Grindelwald, who's supposed to be in your care. Like, I don't get it at all. But I mean, I guess. I just, I was just stumped. Like, you're supposed to be the Minister of Magic, and you can't even keep one of the most wanted wizard criminals in your own care. And on top of that, you get thrown into an ocean full of water. Like, ocean full of water, that's what an ocean is, Adia. You get thrown into an ocean from the sky. Yeah, so, problem 1, we don't see the beast that much. Problem 2, I was really hoping that this movie was going to play on more of, like, Newt and Tina's, like, relationship some more, because we saw it develop some in the first movie, but it didn't develop that much at all. I think Tina and Newt's relationship was kind of left in dust this movie, because in Fantastic Beasts, Tina and Newt were like kind of starting this relationship where like Newt is very like, he doesn't want to be in a relationship with anybody because he got his heart broken once by someone named Leela Strange that we don't know about. And Tina's also very much like, I follow the rules, you're breaking the rules, but I also like want to go on this journey, make sure you don't like break any more rules because this could cost me my job. And so they're going through this, and the second movie just kind of doesn't even acknowledge that these two like really have, like really doesn't acknowledge that these two had feelings for each other at all. Like in the movie, you see that Newt is like kind of like, oh, I'll invite you to come read my book in England if you come, and Tina's like, oh yeah, I'll come. Like, that's like the starting of a relationship. Like, you see that they're working together. She starts to realize like that he's here for the right things in New York. I'm gonna help him out. But then you like totally forget about this whole entire relationship you created between these two people. Mind you, these two people that like, it's an actual good relationship. Then you just let it to the drip. Tina's mad at him because she thinks he's getting engaged to Leela Strange. So she has a boyfriend, which we never meet in the first place throughout the movie. And 2, like, how does that happen? Like, you would think if you're going on a trip with like someone you were about to have like get into a relationship with your boyfriend, maybe she didn't tell him, but maybe your boyfriend would be like, you can't just leave for like days on end to go find somebody. Like, you're going after Grindelwald, a very dangerous wizard. Like, that would make no sense. You would think that her boyfriend would be worried about her. You know? I don't know. I was kind of hoping that the second movie would have been like, oh, you know, these two, they're kind of like closed off a little bit, but they're like great, like they work great in like solving mysteries or solving the problem or just working together just in general. And they're gonna mend each other's hearts and like open each other up. And on top of that, they're going to end Grindelwald in general, you know? But we don't get that. I think it's actually dissatisfying. We see that same thing with Newt. Like, he's very much more open with animals, with beasts and stuff like that, with all the creatures, with nifflers and all that kind of stuff. And like, you see his care for animals. Just like, why invest a whole movie basically about these two relationships, also trying to figure out, because Grindelwald really is in the movie, but he isn't, like in the first movie, because he's pretending to be somebody else. Like, the first movie is about like finding who this, I forgot, the is it the obscene or something like that, out, finding who that person is, which the person is like Grindelwald is thinking it's the daughter, his like Credence's adopted sister in the orphanage, but it's actually Credence. And so like, it just makes no sense. I get it, but like, Like, it doesn't make any sense. The first movie is called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The second movie is called Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. Like, it's two totally different, like, titles, which, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they don't add up. Like, this movie is about the beast, like, finding the obscene, which is, like, supposedly another, like, creature or beast, like, finding them. And finding all the other beasts, like, creatures that have been let loose in New York City. But then the second movie is about Grindelwald. But it's called Fantastic Beasts. Which I guess because it's the Fantastic Beasts franchise right now. But this doesn't make any sense. Like, these movies kind of don't add up. It's like there's two totally different plot lines. Which, like, even with Harry Potter, like, the story, the books are called different things. Like, Harry Potter and this, Harry Potter and that. But there's, like, a very much consecutive plot line throughout the book, each movie and the books. Like, the first one is like, oh yeah, this is the thing, Harry's a wizard. He finds out he's a wizard, but he's also finds out that he's the only person that can take down Voldemort, which is through the rest of the movies is them figuring out how to take down Voldemort towards you get to the end and you take down Voldemort. So for Fantastic Beasts to be, oh, the Beast, the first movie, we're going to look for all these beasts because they've been let loose, and we're also going to release this one beast that we're talking about that just happened to pop up in this movie. We're going to talk about this one beast all of a sudden towards the end of the movie, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. But then in the second movie, we're not going to bring beasts up at least for more than 10 minutes. And it's going to be all about this one guy named Grindelwald. Like, I get it. Grindelwald's like you need a villain. You need some sort of villain to be in this movie. But it just, like, didn't make any sense. And then we get to Grindelwald. Grindelwald and Dumbledore. We meet the young Dumbledore, which I will say, I feel like when we first meet Dumbledore, he's very old. He's like maybe 100, not even 100 years. He's just very, very old at this point. And it's just, like, kind of weird to see. We usually see him, he's not playful in the Harry Potter series. He's a very much wise, kind of like riddly kind of guy. He gives you riddles, you have to figure it out on your own. He's like there for you. He leads you in the right direction. I just don't get the difference in character. Maybe because he's younger, like, he's a lot more playful a bit. Like, I don't get it. I don't get Dumbledore's character in this Fantastic Beasts. Maybe he was like that. I don't know. I've seen the movie multiple times. Harry Potter multiple times. I would know that he was not like that. So to make him, like, kind of like a totally different person, maybe he's been through stuff. Maybe we'll see in perhaps just maybe if they release another one. But, like, I don't really get how these two people are, like, supposed to be the same person, but, like, a younger version. I don't get it. Like, and the relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald would make a lot more sense if they went with the fact that these two, Grindelwald and Dumbledore, were lovers at one point, that they were together. Like, but they had to be, like, they couldn't be together because, one, they couldn't be in a gay relationship during the time period that they are in. Makes 100% sense. The 1920s, you know, maybe people, it'd give us a bit of history overall throughout, like, history and actual real world history. But it makes no sense to be like, throughout the movie, we know that the Minister of Magic is, like, trying to convince Dumbledore to fight Grindelwald, and he's like, I can't do it, like, but you're like, he's the only person that can. And we, like, J.K. Rowling even confirms that Dumbledore is gay. So why not bring it up? You have a lot of LGBT, like, fans. Like, why not bring it up? It would make a lot more sense to the plot of the story. Because it even implies it in the movie, like, they were like, I think the Minister of Magic says you guys were once close, and he was like, we were like brothers. You're like, we were closer than brothers. How else would you be closer than brothers? Like, are you like father and son? Like, no, you guys were lovers at one point. That makes no sense. You can't be like, we're closer than brothers, and be like, okay, so what were you close like? Like, what was the close? Like, there's only one more. It's like best friends, siblings. Like, for me, it goes best friends, cousins, siblings, and then maybe lovers, because lovers are like on a totally different like level of closeness. Honestly, like, it would make no sense to not add that. And then a blood pact, like, we're still in love with each other, but we can't be together because of the time period, because of, you know, the problems that we have going on. But maybe later on we'll meet up. But if something were to ever happen and you turn evil, blah blah, we'll never fight each other if people want us to, you know? Like, we made this blood pact, we're not going to fight each other. Would make a whole lot more sense. That's why Dumbledore, like, I can't fight him. Like, that was once my lover. We promised not to fight each other. Like, that would make a whole lot more sense if that would make sense. Because, like, you can't just say, oh, he's gay, but then not bring it up at all, not add it to his character at all. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, being gay is not the only thing a part of a person's identity, but we don't see, I mean, I guess because, yeah, like, Dumbledore's relationship isn't, like, a big forefront of his character, but it would make more sense to this story and his character at this point. You know? But I guess, like, I don't know. Now let's talk about unimportant characters in this movie. There are characters in this movie that didn't even need to be in. They were like, I don't know, but like, let me list off all the like, unimportant characters. One, Newt's assistant. She didn't really need to be, I mean, I guess, yeah, she was like kind of like a funny kind of character. That one guy that's supposed to be Lila Strange's brother or something. I don't even know what his name is. Lila Strange, Nagini, who else? Thaddeus. That's what Newt's brother's name is. I mean, I guess why it could be important he's important in the movie, but like, let's go on the first person, which is Lila Strange's supposed brother. He didn't need to be in there. First we thought he was creepy. He's quite a creepy character. Second of all, he was supposed to, like, we didn't know if he was bad or good, like what his intentions were, and then we couldn't find out he's trying to go find the guy, the brother that they have and kill him. Something like that. I don't know. Like, his whole, like, the whole plot line with Lita and her brother and Thaddeus, they could have all been like, it was just like kind of, they're all kind of put in there to just like make space for the movie, like to add more like minutes to the movie. Like that whole scene with Lita Lestrange, her brother, Newt, and Tina, that whole entire scene where he's like, oh no, you're wrong. It's like we're given all this information about something, and it's like ripped away from us as soon as you possibly get it because none of it's true. Like, it's like that whole scene didn't need to be in the movie at all, literally at all. It was just kind of stupid. Like, there's no point. Nagini. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on the character. I just feel like it was kind of, first of all, my one problem with the fandom getting set because Nagini was going to be an Asian woman. That's literally not even the point. I don't think that was even a big deal at all. I didn't like Nagini's an Asian woman. Okay, that's it. Like, I guess I get it where people are like, her character's gonna be like, she's quite submissive throughout the movie, leading into the stereotype of Asian women being submissive to people. But like, that's not leading. I don't even know. I mean, yeah, because I guess because later on she's like kind of like Voldemort's like pet and like follower, stuff like that, but there is some sense to her, like, following around Voldemort, because he can speak Parseltongue, and so he's, like, the only person that can kind of understand her, so that makes sense. But she was somewhat unimportant. Like, I get it, yeah, she was, like, Credence's, like, partner in crime, but I feel like Credence could have done all that by himself, which he did do a lot throughout the movie. In the first movie, he did a lot of stuff by himself. Also, with Grindelwald, but Grindelwald's in his ear, he was doing a lot of stuff for Grindelwald by himself before he met Nagini. And literally, Nagini's, like, only word is, like, Credence. Credence, no! Credence, stop! Like, even Jacob and Queenie. Like, I get it, Jacob and Queenie, like, Tina, Jacob, and Queenie are important characters in the story, but they're made so unimportant throughout the whole story. Like, I get it, Queenie and Jacob's story kind of makes sense to me. It keeps going on with their, like, it has some continuation with their plot line from the first movie. Like, these two are in love, like, he's a nomad or muggle, and she's a wizard, a witch. Like, I get where the line between, oh, we can't be together, but I love you, and, like, I really want to be with you. So, like, her drugging him, like, not drugging, hallucinating him or whatever, casting that spell on him, makes sense. Like, it goes on in the, but, like, he's like, oh, and then her going to follow Grindelwald, like, oh, I'm promising you guys eternal love for the rest of your life if you go with me, which Jacob doesn't go because Jacob knows, like, that's not really how that works when you fall in someone who isn't that trustworthy, but Queenie does, so, like, that makes sense. Like, maybe we'll see, like, oh, Jacob going, Queenie, like, come to your senses, this is like, not real, like, can you pay attention to, like, the fact that if you want us to be together, you have to change the laws, try to change the laws, not just try to go with the criminal to change the law so we can be together, because you can't trust him at the end of the day. Like, that makes sense. That makes sense, and hopefully they'll play that into the next movie, because that is honestly a very, like, I feel like that'd be, like, the way they develop that could be pretty good. Like, Jacob's a very kind of, like, level-headed man, and Queenie's, like, very much, like, head in the clouds, but, like, a bit fierce and sassy. Let's talk about the spells. The spells in this movie are absolutely horrendous. I saw absolutely no spells. It was like as if I was watching, like, somebody who had a wand that wasn't supposed to have a wand throughout this movie with all the spells that go on. There's, like, literally no spells. They were all like, pew, 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 pew. Like, as if they were playing laser tag with all these, like, wands. And, like, no, I saw, like, no Stupefy, no Crucio, nothing, no Wingardium Leviosa, at least. Like, nothing. Like, there was no Accio, nothing at all. Like, actual, like spells we've seen throughout the previous movies. Like, I don't know, maybe the spells weren't defined then, but I'm pretty sure the spells were defined at that point for them to be defined in the 1990s, which is, like, maybe 50 years in between, like, no, 70 years in between, like, I don't get how that doesn't add up. Like, doesn't that, like, you're a wizard, but you don't use any actual spells. I have one more point to talk about, and then we're done. My last point is the ending of when, I will say, the ending of when Grindelwald, like, the CGI is amazing in this movie. The ending is when Grindelwald's gathering all these, like, followers. If you don't want to follow me, follow me. Like, he does make a bunch of good points, though. I will say, like, humans are going to be the destroyers of the world. Like, he shows, like, war and stuff like that. Makes sense. It makes sense because he's telling the truth. He is telling the truth. Like, the nomads are, like, they're dangerous, they're gonna ruin the world, they're gonna end it, they're gonna kill us if they find out we have powers, we have magic, because they're afraid and they're cowards, blah, blah, blah. Makes sense. Okay? That, I will say, makes sense throughout the whole movie. The CGI is great, the Nifflers, all that kind of stuff, the monsters, not the monsters, the creatures and stuff, the Fantastic Beasts. Makes sense. Those are all good parts of the movie. I feel like that's what I was coming for, and I got that. I got what I wanted out of that. Like, I got good CGI. I got that, like, the fire scene where all people are coming through, and he's like, come follow me. You know you want to. And then he kills people because he knows they're, like, he doesn't actually really need them, but he's, like, lying to them. Like, it's so good. But then we go to the scene where it's, like, the end of the movie, and Grindelwald has credence. We know that, that's another thing that continues throughout the movie, that we know that Grindelwald wants credence. For whatever reason, Grindelwald wants credence. And Grindelwald, at first, was like, credence, he's not, credence is worse, like, terrible. He just wants the obscene. And so, Grindelwald now has credence. And he tells Credence that he needs to fight with him because Dumbledore is his brother and he wants to destroy him. Of anything else, how about the Ministry of Magic doesn't want you alive anymore? Which makes sense, they don't want him actually alive anymore because he's dangerous. Like, he's uncontrollable, he kills people out of nowhere, like, he's an emotional, like, kind of wreck, Credence. No offense, Credence, you're adorable, but, like, you're a bit of an emotional wreck, you know? Like, why not? That makes more sense than saying Dumbledore is your brother and he wants to destroy you. First of all, Dumbledore, I don't even think Dumbledore, last thought on Dumbledore's mind is Credence. I mean, yeah, maybe it might be a thought in his mind, but I don't think it's, like, the most important thought in his mind. Like, it's Grindelwald, my ex-lover. I'm convinced that these two are lovers, so I'm gonna keep calling them lovers. Like, my ex-lover, he's, like, committing crime all over the place. I, like, still love you. Like, can you stop? I'm gonna make sure you stop. And I don't want to kill you, but you need to stop. Like, that would make so much sense in saying that, Dumbledore's your brother. He wants to destroy you. But I get it, like, yeah, it's a weak spot in Credence because he, like, he's looking for his mother. And he wants to know his family, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, oh, the only family I have wants to destroy me. So, because I thought I had actual family, but comes out to find out it's not actually true. That was all a lie. Like, man, there's so many things that could have gone differently. Like, there's just, I don't know. I'm gonna see the second movie. I mean, the next movies they have for this series. I'm going to watch it to its entirety. But, like, you gotta do better, man. I don't know. I feel like nowadays it's kind of hard to, like, find good movies. Like, they're, like, okay movies, they're good movies, but, like, amazing movies, great movies. It's kind of hard to find those things nowadays because, like, people just kind of go above and beyond. They try to hit the mark and they go too far over the mark and they miss the mark. Like, yeah. I don't know. That's just my opinion on this movie. You don't have to agree with any of my opinions, honestly. If you thought the movie's great, amazing, that's all fine and well. I, on the other hand, just had some problems with it being a huge fan, seeing as I've dressed up for this whole entire video, talking about this stuff. I just think there are some things that could be changed, and there are some things that could have stayed but been tweaked a little bit, you know? I just think that this franchise can do better, and so can J.K. Rowling. You wrote the book, you know the series, you know what you have, but, like, yeah, this movie just this movie and the second movie dismissed the mark. First one was cute. It was cute because of, like, the beast, and I loved it. I loved to see the little green guy, I forgot his name, but little green guy was in his pocket, like that one scene where he's, like, leaving him, he gives him to the goblin or whatever, and he's, like, crying because he's, like, their loyalty and all that kind of stuff. Like, Pippin, I think his name is Pippin, right? I think so. I'm, like, talking to someone like someone's here, no one is here. So I like that part, but I feel like I just really hope that this movie does more with, one, Newt and Tina's relationship, cause then, oh wait, like she found out, oh wait, you're not actually engaged. Like, I don't know. Do more with Jacob and Queenie's, as well as Grindelwald and Dumbledore's relationship. I don't really care about Newt and Thaddeus' relationship. I don't actually like Thaddeus. I think he's kind of like pretentious, but like that's my own opinion. But I think I think if they do it correctly, there could be some good content or some good story, a good story behind Thaddeus. Yeah. This is my first time doing a review. I also don't like being, I don't care. I really don't care about being negative or not. If I don't like a movie, I don't like a movie. I'm going to tell you, because I don't want to like perpetuate like a thing like, this movie's great, if it's not actually all that great, because sometimes there are like things I think writers need to learn, like take into review, take in accountability of the fans and stuff like that, because the writer's a writer, but sometimes they're not a fan. I do like doing this kind of video. I kind of like dressing up for like the specific thing I'm talking about. I think it's kind of fun. I know that the next one I'm going to do is Riverdale. Riverdale ends, and I think sometime around May or whatever. This is my first time actually fully watching a Riverdale season as it's airing. So, yeah, and they just got renewed for season 4 just this week as I'm filming this, like, I think Thursday or whatever. So, season 4 is coming up. I'd like to do a review at the end of season 3. So stay tuned for that. I will get some Riverdale merch if you want me to. Maybe some River Vixen stuff or whatever. But I'm excited to talk about this. I'm not going to say comment if you want me to do this, because I'm going to continue doing this. I like doing stuff like this. I think I might do something else like this for another show, whatever. Something quite popular, maybe not so popular. Yeah. Tell me what your thoughts are about this movie. I don't know what else, but like, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on all my other social media platforms. And I will see you in the next video. And yeah. Bye.